6 cars strong, multi-class racing at its finest. The field is out on its formation lap right now. This is race 2 of our Member Challenge series. Welcome to Monticello Motor Club's coverage of the Member Challenge Race Series. Brought to you by the Monticello Media Team, Dom and Ray and Chris Chapala, everybody working hard to bring amazing views of the Catskills and this divine facility. As the pace car rounds Prudence, turn 4, headed up to the carousel, the field will be forming up and will be green flag conditions here momentarily. We've got Andre Fernandez still on the front row in the big green machine, the Ferrari Challenge car. Outside front row will be, again, JF Wee, a fine Bordeaux in that Porsche on the outside front row. Second row, Simon Reed on the inside, and the outside is going to be pinned down by Reggie Tartaglione in the Mighty Cup car. Right behind him, Adam Klein and Alan Teo. Then followed up by Dave Pereira, Nick Steinman. In 10th position, Rudy Pistoli. And outside row there will be Jordan Klein. Jonathan Wilson's going to be carrying an in-car camera in that Aston Martin. And it's going to be really cool. I can't wait to see what happens with that Jonathan Wilson camera in the Aston. The other camera car will be Simon Reed up in 3rd place. So we've got some amazing racing action, and as you can see on the screen, we have a fresh co-host in the booth, the amazing, a racer here, a sim racer, a real-life racer, and real-life son of Reggie Tartaglione, Manny Tartaglione. Manny, welcome to the announcing booth.
Thanks, Derek. I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Oh, look at this live camera.
Love it.
This is me holding the mic for Manny. Manny is, you can tell Manny is super excited. And we're going to listen to his scintillating, insightful comments about this Member Challenge race. Having raced in this series, raced in Indy 2, Manny's going to bring some really useful member insights into what's happening with these racers throughout the race. Teams are going through the switchback now, headed around to Kryptos, and will be green flag conditions in just a minute. As you can see on the screen, Eric Paterno still in the points lead, but he is not in this race. So there's a chance for people like Blaker and Pistoli to move up in the rankings, as Paterno will not be scoring any points in this second race today. Chris Peterson driving the pace car through hairpin now. You can see the big green machine there. On the pole right behind him, Simon Reed, and there's Reggie, Adam Klein, Alan Teo, Dave Pereira, Nick Steinman, Rudy, and Jordan. There's Jonathan and Jay Davis, Dan Feldstein, and Mario Verna. All these racers getting stacked up, a little accordion action there at hairpin. Manny, when you were racing in these Member Challenge races, what are you doing right now? What are your thought process? What are you trying to get accomplished on this formation line?
Most important thing is just to stay focused. You want to make sure that you have everything in order, because once you go green, there's not a lot looking back. You got to just keep your eyes up and try to have some fun out there.
Yeah, fun is what it's all about here at Monticello. I tell you, it's gentleman racing at its finest. Everybody's here to have fun, and then we go have a great lunch together in the clubhouse. It's good racing and good sportsmanship and friendship here at Monticello. Lights are out on the pace cars. Chris leading them around the final corner, turning left on to the South Straight. They'll be forming up 2 by 2 here as Andre pilots the Ferrari down right behind the pace car. JF getting up on his door, getting ready to go green. Morgan's got the green flag in his hand as the field turns toward the bridge. Great shots being provided by this drone today. Super shout out to the Monticello Media Team for making these races so much more exciting to watch and broadcasting worldwide right here from the world's premier automotive country club. Morgan, green flag in his hand. Andre JF on the front row. And green flag. Rudy dives out. Pereira cuts him off. Klein goes to the outside as everybody heads down to turn number 1, the Montreal corner. And Jonathan Wilson with a great start gets around Rudy as Rudy has to take evasive action to get off of Pereira and move to the outside as Andre Fernandez leads them into turn 3. JF looking pretty racy early on. He was very reliable and repeatable laps and kept decent contact. Let's see if JF and Simon Reed have anything for the Green Machine in this race. What do you think, Manny?
I know JF is flying out there during qualifying. He's been really driving that car very well this season. I know staying in Andre's mirror is definitely frustrating him in the front. So it's going to be fun to watch, see if he can keep that gap tight as the race goes on.
Also, producer's note here, Mark Davies out of Palm Beach, Florida, was in the big Ferrari last race. He has switched to his Indy 2 and is now at the back of the field. So a fresh car for Mark Davies. We'll see what he can do. Making the change from a Ferrari Challenge car to an Indy 2 from one race to the next, that takes a lot of bandwidth. As you watch these cars go down the backstretch there, Rudy is door-to-door with Jordan Klein trying to get the drop on Jonathan Wilson in the braking zone. And Andre still out front leading the group through. There's Jonathan Wilson with that camera inside that Aston Martin Vantage GT4. Jonathan Wilson doing a great job so far. He had a great start on lap number 1. Let's see if he can hold off the world's angriest M2.
Definitely enjoying my time at the club today. It's been a couple months since I've been back on a hiatus. Super happy to be back.
I tell you what, it is a pleasure to have you here at the club, man. You and the dog and the kid and everybody up here. The mighty M5 wagon. I tell you what, it's good to have Manny and Reggie around the club all the time. Well, they're doing work over the karting track right now. They got K-Rail in the smiley face formation. Rudy running down, trying to catch that Vantage GT4 of Jonathan Wilson. Closing the gap as he heads down into Montreal. Rudy shows him the no and covers him off into turn 1. Rudy picking up a position on Jonathan Wilson in turn 1. And there's Jay Davis and Crestron Dan turning through turn 1 as well. And look at JF. JF not wanting to lose contact with Andre Fernandez. JF bringing the fight. What do you think JF's thinking now? You know, he was 8 seconds off the pace in the first race. So far in this race, he is doing a lot better. What kind of adjustments, or what do you think JF's doing differently now?
Well, I think the biggest thing that's changed is the temperature's gone up, so now the cars are really going to start to open up. I think JF, as a seasoned racer, is going to know exactly how to handle this type of situation. He's going to be patient, he's going to watch his marks, and he's going to be ready to attack when the time's right.
Yeah, you can definitely see the Ferrari here stretching his legs. Really big speed advantage on that main straight. That's where the Ferrari really shines. And now JF will use his brakes and his good handling to try to close the gap on him. As you see Simon Reed with the in-car there tracking all the action from inside the car as we watch this battle between JF and Andre unfold. Leaves in the background. I tell you what, Manny, where else would you rather be than in the Catskills in the fall, man? It's fantastic up here. And now we're turning to the main straight as Andre is back on the gas. JF is being coached today by Jason Rabe out of the Monticello Professional Instructor Corps. And I think, no doubt, Jason Rabe is also, as well as temperatures, I think Jason Rabe is the difference for JF today. Let's hope that JF's got something for Andre late in this race.
Yeah, working with Jason myself, I can tell you, he knows what he's talking about. We really enjoyed this season with him out in the Porsche Sprint Challenge, and we definitely think that he's given JF a lot of good pointers out there. Not that he needs them, but it always helps.
And now you see you got Adam Klein working the rear bumper of that orange McLaren Alan Teo. Alan Teo having to work to keep Adam Klein at bay behind him, and Nick Steinman's closing the gap up there as well, as there comes Manny's dad, also known as Reggie, coming down the South Straight, turning into Montreal. And here comes Alan and Adam and Dave Pereira and Nick Steinman followed by Rudy and Jonathan Wilson. And there's Les Schramm there in 11th place. Jonathan Wilson with the in-car, looking at the tail of the Pistoli M2. Jonathan's going to do everything he can. Jonathan being coached up by Jason Lair today. Jason Lair, one of our top-tier coaches. If you want to book Jason Rabe or Jason Lair, you can book either Jason. Just check in with Jillian and Dustin. Look at the action here. Dave Pereira getting his nose inside. Adam Klein struggling in the carousel as Pereira closes the gap on Teo. Pereira struggled a little bit in that first race, having the big off on lap number 1. But Pereira looking extraordinarily racy right now in the F82 M4 GT4. Let's see if Alan Teo's got something for Pereira on this straightaway. Those cars are awfully close together. What do you think, Manny? You think Pereira's got something for him, the BMW versus the McLaren?
Well, I would say so. I think after the first race, after his first lap turnaround, I think he's looking to make a mark on this race. I would say that whenever you get a little bit of draft on that back straight, it always gives you the boost you need. Hit switch back correct and take it into cryptos.
Yeah, you know, yesterday was Dave Pereira's birthday, so I think he is. I think you're right. Kid's trying to make a mark on his birthday. Let's see what happens. There comes Manny's dad, and here comes Alan Teo, followed by Pereira, Adam, Nick, Rudy, and Jonathan right there. A bunch of members really close together. Alan Teo playing cork in the bottle right now. I tell you, Teo's got a mirror full of race cars right now. Anything can happen. That McLaren's fast on the straightaway, though. Look at these camera angles. The drone is doing work today. Chris Chapala and the media team just bringing you fantastic coverage throughout the race. We've got about 17 minutes to go, and Pereira still just harassing Alan Teo right now. And he's got his nose inside, and Pereira gets a run. Ooh, boy. That is spicy right there.
Keeping those elbows out, that's for sure. But Alan's used to being calm, cool, and collected in these types of situations. I'm sure he's going to be able to handle the pressure just fine.
Yeah, Alan Teo is a poised racer, having raced all over the country in these McLarens with his daughter, Kaya, who we're missing here at the club today. But Alan Teo not going to be shook by Pereira. But Pereira is absolutely doing his best to harass him. And there's 4 cars right there, 3 cars right up in Alan's mirrors. Alan being a pro, though, not looking in those mirrors, rather driving his line, as Pereira takes an interesting outside rim shot, going the long way around, what we call the Mike Leo line. Let's see if Pereira's got something for him, because he's got the inside line now. Pereira, what is happening there? That is not good. Dave Pereira puts his nose inside of Teo. Teo tries to close down, and the room is not there. And now we've got 2 cars off in Pine Tree. Yeah, Pereira's off in Pine Tree. I believe we've got a yellow sector here, but I believe we're going to be full course yellow very soon. There's Mark Davies and John Marcato going through the carousel. And Teo lost a position there, obviously. Yellow sector in Pine Tree. Find out, let's see, maybe Pereira, I think Pereira might have got underway and got in hanger. So maybe no yellow at all. According to the race positioning, I believe my laps is showing no yellow and no caution. Because Pereira is, now we've got another car off. Car number 3. Car number 3 is stopped. Let's get a look. Oh, that is Pereira. Who's car number 85? I'm trying to, that's actually Teo pulled in. So Teo and Pereira both trying to get in. Yellow sector now on the main straight. We'll check with our drone. Pereira in the jug handle in the bus stop. An interesting position for Pereira to make it to. Maybe should have gone with the hangar entrance to pit lane, but we'll see. We've got a local yellow on the entrance to the straightaway. Meanwhile, Jonathan Wilson, Rudy Pistoli still racing. We've got a race elsewhere. Driver still driving. Reggie T moves up to 4th. Simon Reed up to 3rd. We're going to have some this is going to be good. JF, Simon, and Reggie with Adam Klein, all 4 of those cars are going to be close together before this race is over. This is going to be some good racing. Manny, what are you thinking so far about how your dad's doing?
Yeah, I'm happy to see him holding it down. Obviously holding 4th, but I think he's really committed to learning his GT3 Cup car. I'm excited to see his progress in it the rest of this season and hopefully next. We're definitely going to get some action out of him. I think this yellow flag is going to bunch some people up, even though it's local. I think it'll keep racing interesting throughout the field. And I think what happened there was just a little bit of red mist. I think David was hungry for the spot, and Alan wasn't ready to give it up, and the fight just ended up taking them both out.
Manny pulling out some core racer terms there. I believe you're right. It was a little red eye mist. No doubt about the red mist. Pereira did seem to want to get that pass done. Maybe a little frustrated, but as you know, Manny, racing is like Dennis used to always say, right? To finish first, you must first finish. You got to have a long-range mentality. That incident happened before the halfway point. Just not really any reason for that to happen at that point in the race. Patience reigns out here. If you've got a superior car, the pass will take care of itself if you're patient. Oh, wow. Oof, that was ugly. Oh, my gosh. The cameras are breaking. Oh, my gosh. It must be the end of the broadcast. Manny, say something smart.
I really have nothing. I'm caught up in the vision of the 2 commentators here. It's just such a sight to see.
It's clearly not as pretty as the Catskills. I got to tell you. Let's get the camera back on those leaves and those trees. As Andre, listen, look at that. JF and Simon still giving the green machine some trouble. Also, don't forget, if you want to be fast like these racers, join us with our High Performance Driving School on October 13th to the 15th. It's the last 3-day driving school of the season. Get in one of those PDKs and get trained up by Monticello instructors and get your race career at the club underway October 13th. Check in with concierge or visit our website for more details. So, here's Mike Leo being followed by Brighton. These 2 guys have been racing nose to tail. I like how Ivan's taking the fight to Leo. Leo, a very quick driver in the Indy 2s, but Ivan Brightly has been coming along steadily. Really good progress. Used to race right along with both those guys, Manny. What do you think those guys are thinking? Do you think Ivan's going to be able to use that toe to get around Leo, or is Leo's elbows going to be too sharp?
I think that's exactly what Ivan's doing. I think he's getting ready for keeping it tight, get to the back straight, get the toe. I think that ultimately Ivan's been putting in a lot of time. I think it's shown here. Mike Leo's an excellent driver, but he's obviously had his mishaps on track, so I think he's going to do his best to keep it clean. So any pressure from Ivan's going to only get in Mike's head as the race goes on.
That's a great point. And that toe down the straightaway, as everybody knows watching these Indy 2 races, the toe is a mighty advantage. If you can get it timed just right, you can really get an advantage into that braking zone and get a clean pass headed up the switchback. Taking a look now, you see Ron Trinka there. He had a punctured tire in the out lap, the formation lap last race. Good to see Thor back on track, lapping in that big McLaren, being followed by some couple of other racers there. Trinka looking good right in front of Leslie Schrimm in 10th spot. Back to the front, you see Simon Reed. Simon Reed tracking JF and, oh wow, look at this, Jonathan Wilson getting the move done on Rudy. Rudy Pistoli struggling to stay in front of Wilson, and now the Aston Martin is back in front. We're back to kind of where we started early in this race. Kudos to Jonathan Wilson and his coach, Jason Lair. I don't know, man. There's only 10 minutes left in this race. We got about 5 laps to go. What are you looking for out of these back markers?
Well, once the front starts to catch the back of the field, I think that's when things will get interesting. It'll either close or open up the gaps that are there. I definitely think 10 minutes can feel like an eternity when you're on track, especially when you're trying to hold a position. I think to your point earlier, having a 25-minute race, although it's a sprint, could feel like a real marathon. So you really have to take your time out there, be patient, hit your marks, stay steady, stay focused, and follow through for the whole 25 minutes.
Fascinating insights there out of Manny, a guy who has raced in this league this season, raced alongside his dad and campaigned the ND2s. This guy knows what he's talking about. It's so awesome to have Manny up here talking about the race. Also, I can't wait to get back to the clubhouse. It's going to be lunchtime soon, too, which is my favorite part of the day. Let's check it out. As JF tracks that big green Ferrari through Kryptos and up to the hairpin, Simon Reed trying to close the gap. Let's check and see what's happening back in the field. Dan Feldstein's holding down 12th place, followed by Mario Verna and Jay Davis in the 88 Porsche, followed up by Ivan Brightly, who did get around Mike Leo, as we called it here in the booth. No commentator's curse for Ivan Brightly. He did use the toe, did use the draft, and did get around Mike Leo in that last braking zone. Mark Davies has worked up from last place up to 17th place, getting around Jack Wilson, John Marcado, Paul Levine. That's a good job out of Mark Davies. And right now you've got Alan Teo and Dave Pereira, who are really not in this race really anymore. Too bad for both of those guys. Really too bad for Teo, of course. Simon Reed into the Lofts corner. Really proud of what JF's been able to do in this race after his performance last time. Look at his lap times. 2:24.1 versus 2:24.1. JF matching Andre step for step so far. And as you said, traffic management going to get huge here as Andre's right behind Jack Wilson, son of Jonathan Wilson. We have a lot of fathers and sons out here having some fun.
Well, that's what I've grown to love about Monticello. It's a real family environment. Coming out here with my dad for the past couple of years, it's always been a special time, and I love it. I mean, I love being here. I love being part of it. Oh,
JF goes for the pass inside the hanger turn, gets his nose on Fernandez, and loops them both. That was unfortunate. JF being very aggressive with that turn into hanger, and it did not pay off for either one of them. That is not great. These guys are going for it in race 2. Between Pereira and Formella, I tell you, that is a hard charger. That's the kind of hard charger you don't want to see. That's a little too hard charger. As Jonathan leads Rudy, this is the race right here. Rudy and Jonathan Wilson, BMW versus Aston, followed by Ron Trinka there in the McLaren. I tell you what, this is some pretty aggressive racing. Everybody wanting the trophy today. Everybody wanting to get on the podium, Manny.
Yeah, I think JF knew he had to make a move before the straight. I think it was a little early in the race, but I think ultimately he knew he had to get some advantage on the straight because that's where he's going to be losing the battle over pace.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. It was a pretty aggressive move on his part. Yep, they're both still underway. So I guess, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out here at the end as Andre goes around Mark Davies. Mark Davies, grown up, an Englishman in an Italian livery Japanese sports car. I tell you what, it doesn't get any better than that. As Jonathan going down the main straight there. Simon Reed on the inside with his blinkers on, passing Mark Davies into Montreal as well. There comes John Marcado and Jack Wilson headed into Montreal. Simon Reed is your race leader right now, having been the beneficiary of the Fernandez spin. Fernandez has about 5 minutes to try to catch him, and you can see the gap there is not that great. Let's see. What do you think, man? You think Andre will be able to run down Simon, or you think Simon can hold court till the end?
Well, I would say with 5 minutes left, it's going to be tight. I think if Simon keeps his head down and keeps doing what he's been doing, keeps it clean, I think he's got a good shot at taking the overall.
I got to agree with you. Simon has not put a foot wrong the entire race. Lap times are very consistent, repeatable, but man, that Ferrari is a load on that straightaway. Oh yeah, we've got a yellow sector now in the hairpin, but it looks like there are no cars stopped over there, so I'm not sure what that yellow is all about. But we are showing a local yellow as you watch your leader and the second place car go through switchback. Simon Reed definitely aware that there is a mean green Fernandez machine behind him. He's going to have to keep his head clear and eyes out of that mirror. Just trying to turn repeatable laps here at the hairpin. The Ferrari is ever closer, ever closer, ever closer. Jillian Alexander would tell you that Ferrari is fast. It's her favorite thing to say when she's in the commentator's box. As Fernandez shows in the nose and goes for the pass, Simon cannot cover him off. Not a great defensive angle there by Simon, and he has given up the spot to Fernandez in less than one lap. From the time I said, do you think he can hold him off? It took about 60 seconds for Fernandez to get around him.
Well, being that it's an out-of-class battle, Simon might also be playing strategy here, knowing that he doesn't want to get in the middle of a locomotive that's, trying to, run down the track, because there's no doubt Andre's probably a little bit frustrated with the outcome of that incident in hangar.
He is, in fact, an angry Portuguese locomotive out there right now. He is on his way to distance himself from the field. So Andre back on top, Simon Reed in second, now JF in third. As Ron Trinka has now gotten around Rudy as well. Rudy moving backwards through the field from 7th to 8th to 9th. The world's angriest M2, not quite so angry in race 2. Trinka around Wilson in the old turn 1. There you see from the in-car camera, Thor Trinka going around the GT4 Vantage of Jonathan Wilson and making the pass stick as they go through the S's and take the left-hander onto the main straight. Rudy will be trying also to close that gap. Let's see if he can take advantage of the traffic management as the M2 tracks the Vantage down the South Straight. About 2 minutes left to go. We'll be looking at the white flag here next time by. I don't know. I think it's Andre's to lose. Top step seems secure, Manny.
Yeah, I would say so. I think he's got clear air in front of him. The car's going to be running well. Clearly no issue from that impact, and excited to see how it finishes up.
Meanwhile, the senior Tartaglione holding down 4th place. No doubt Manny would like to see Reggie move up one spot and get on that overall podium, but he is going to be 2nd place in class, only to the big green machine. Reggie, no doubt, will be happy with that effort, finishing 4th overall. Completely respectable finish for Reggie. He's happy to see Reggie out here racing both races and doing such a great job in both races, keeping his nose clean and turning a bunch of consistent laps out there. The Spirit of Monticello winner, Reggie Tartaglione. As you see, Mario Verna and Jay Davis coming down, turning in at Montreal. Jonathan Wilson trying to maintain contact with that McLaren Arturo, but not quite quick enough as Trinka stretches legs on that McLaren and gets through the kink.
Towards the end of this race, you start to see who has experience dealing with this type of pressure, and I think Ron's just going out to show he's been racing for a long time. He's racing all over Europe, and I think that he's definitely one of the contenders for top racer out here. I think once he gets his car sorted out and kind of figure a couple things out, I think he's definitely a podium finisher in the R2 class.
Well, while we were talking there, Fernandez has now taken the white flag. So last lap to go. About 13 corners, and this race will be in the books. If you're at the club, don't forget to join us just outside the gallery for our podium ceremony. We'll be handing out trophies and awards to all the racers who finished in the money in the podium spots. We'll be handing out trophies to those racers and then headed down to the clubhouse for a fantastic lunch with Chef Steve and his staff. Watching Trinka and Jonathan Wilson go through the old S's. We're going to be checkered flag before you know it. Drone getting in position to cover the finish. Monticello media team does not miss a beat out here. They cover everything as Rudy still follows Jonathan Wilson. Rudy's got one lap to get around Jonathan Wilson. And there you see our leader, the overall race leader in the Big Green Machine, Portuguese Man of the Year, Andre Fernandez, the beautiful Andre Fernandez. Yonel's favorite member turns on to the north stretch and heads into the old turn 1 for the last time. Big Green Ferrari, big on the binders, taking the left-hander off camber and down the hill for the last time around the karting complex. Ferrari looking good. Ferrari looking fast, as Jillian would say. As he rounds onto the backstretch, Morgan's got a checkered flag in hand. And for the second race in a row, it's the Big Green Machine of Andre Fernandez across the line. Second place, Simon Reed coming to the line now. Fantastic in-car coverage, courtesy of Monticello. Simon across the line in second overall. Followed by possibly Adam Klein. Maybe. Not really in the same zip code as Andre. And that's Mike Leo and Ivan Brightly. They just took the checker in class R4. Drone standing by. Jonathan Wilson still holding off Rudy Pistoli. What a battle. Last corner for Jonathan Wilson. The Aston Martin GT4 running strong all day. Jonathan, having learned some stuff from race number 1, brought the fight to Rudy in race number 2. And will come out on top, it looks like. Tracking John Marcado onto the exit, hitting the South Straight. Watch Jonathan Wilson take the checker. There's Ron Trinka across the line. John Marcado across the line. Rudy shows in the nose. It's a drag race, but not enough. Jonathan Wilson gets the line just ahead of Rudy. There's Les Schrim, Jonathan Klein, Jordan Klein, and Jack Wilson. What a race. Manny, thanks for joining us here in the booth today.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Let's go have some lunch and get some trophies. Join us out outside the gallery for our amazing podium ceremony and then lunch in the clubhouse. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you later.